I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my personal experience with the ACE studies, or the Adverse Childhood Event Studies. I have another link to that if you want to check out what the ACE studies actually are and why they're important to people who have been through childhood abuse and trauma, or just any type of trauma in general, really. So my experience was that I had never even heard of them before, and then I had a staph infection on my leg that was not getting better, responding to antibiotics and all the traditional treatments and stuff. So I saw doctors who said, oh, it's probably nothing, you probably just need, a different antibiotic. Oh, a different antibiotic. Oh, we're going to culture it again, and it's just yada, 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 on and on and on for like 6 months. So I had this huge hole in my tibia. It's like this big, like $half size. And it was pretty nasty. And it was in the middle of summer in Kansas, so it's freaking hot and humid. And it was quite miserable because I had to keep it covered and cleaned and all this jazz. So the last appointment I had was when they told me, well, you probably just need IV vancomycin for like indefinitely. I was like, indefinitely? What does indefinitely mean? Like for the rest of my life? Or what? Like, yeah, people that have staph just never really get rid of it, and it just kind of stays with you, period. And I was like, okay. So I went home and I thought about it, and something just didn't sit right with me. For me personally, I thought, staph is an infection that lives normally on our body in different areas, and there's got to be something wrong with my immune system, why it's not fighting off this infection this time, right? So I came to Colorado. I looked up a few holistic naturopaths. I found one who's an MD, and she kind of dedicates her practice to mostly holistic and natural medicine and alternative stuff. But she still has worked as an MD, so she's familiar with quote-unquote Western medicine. So I felt comfortable with her. And got a couple of opinions and got some labs, and the shocking results were in that I remember she told me, she said, staph infection is the least of your worries. And I was like, the least of my worries? No, that's really the only thing I'm concerned about. And she said, well, you have stage 4 kidney disease, your liver is failing, and you have leukemia, and you are very sick. So staph is really the last thing that your body is kind of doing to show you that it's just kind of had enough and is shutting down, so to speak. So that was my experience with the ACE studies, and after that I found out about the ACE studies, and it just kind of made sense for me, because even though I felt like I had processed my trauma, I had, gone through the emotional processing, I'd had therapy and support groups and all this other stuff, and a lot of work on my own, and breath work and meditation, it just goes to show that your emotions do actually sort of manifest and synthesize inside your body. So all of that anger, all that bitterness, all that hatred and resentment I've been feeling for years and years and years was basically just acidifying my body. We hold a lot of anger and resentment in our liver, which makes sense in retrospect now. And so it was really kind of eye-opening for me. And another thing was that my father, my biological father, he died when he was 33 from leukemia. And at the time I was diagnosed, I was 34. So I was like, what? No, this can't be happening. This is like a cycle, It's like you talk about perpetuating the cycle, and that's kind of what I felt like was happening. And I just said, there's got to be a better way. So I decided, I explored all my treatment options and took the path that I felt was most beneficial for me and my body. And I encourage all of you to do that if you have any type of medical diagnosis. Educate yourself on all of your options, whether it be Western medicine or Eastern medicine or Ayurveda, whatever it is. Educate yourself so you at least know that you have options available, and do what you feel is the right thing to do. This is what was right for me. I'm not saying it's right for everyone, but I learned to get in tune with my body so that I knew what it wanted to do to heal. So that's kind of my experience with the ACE studies. It was kind of a big eye-opener because, like I said, I didn't really have much experience with it, and I thought, I'm healthy, and I eat good, and yada, yada, yada. But really, it was a real eye-opener to show the long-term effects of trauma. And taking the ACE quiz on my own, I was like, holy cow, really? I have all of these? I didn't think it was that bad. But again, it's our perception. Like we talked about before, it's our perception of the event, it's our perception of the trauma. and not only the traumatic event itself, but also the aftermath therein. So just a little bit of my personal experience with the ACE studies. I hope it helps you guys, and I hope that you never get to where I was. And if you do, there's lots of options out there. So good luck and have a good day.